Hi everyone, this is Jeanette and welcome back to My Crafty Life. Today we're going to finish up the little ghost earrings that we started a few days ago. This is what they will look like when you're finished. They have been drying for about 3 days. As I said, the air dry clay takes between 1 and 3 days to dry. And these are all dried. To finish up this project, you will need the little ghost clay earrings that you made already. You will need some beads. I'm using bicone beads here. I believe they are a size 3 or 4. I'm not positive. But it doesn't really matter whether there are 3 or 4. It's your preference. And tiny little silver beads. These are 15s, I believe. They're very small. You'll need some eye pins, some earring hooks, a round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, and a cutting tool, wire cutters. You will also need a sealer to put over your earrings when they're finished to prevent them from getting dirty, because they are white and they really will get dirty very quickly. I'm using Glossy Accents by Ranger. You can use just about any kind of liquid or spray sealer that you can get in a local craft store. And I'm using an old paintbrush to put the sealer on. The first thing you'll want to do, you'll also need a Sharpie. I'm using a Sharpie, but you could use any permanent waterproof marker. It's important that it be waterproof because when you put the sealer on it, you don't want it to smudge or run. The first thing we're going to do is draw eyes and a mouth on our little ghost. Now, I don't know if you can see it here, but you want to make sure that the eye pin that you've placed in the ghost is facing you, with the hole facing you. That's important because when we go to assemble it later on, we want it to be facing the right direction. So we're going to put 2 little circles for the eyes and an elongated mouth to make it look just a little scary, not too scary. And don't worry if they're not exactly the same size. It's fine. No two ghosts are alike. Let that dry for a couple of seconds. Now what we're going to do is make our bead dangle. So you'll pick up one of the tiny silver beads, and they do want to fly, so you're going to have to hold them in place. Then you'll put on your accent bead. I'm using orange, by the way. I don't know if you can tell in the video. They might look red, but these are orange. And another tiny silver bead. Now we'll make a simple loop. You're going to make a bend in the eye pin right above that last silver bead that you put on. Then you'll take your cutter and you'll cut about 1/4 inch up from where you made the bend. And then you'll take your round nose pliers, grab the end, and rotate your wrist. And make a simple loop. Now you take your earring hook, you open one of these loops and the little bead dangle that you made. It doesn't really matter which one. Gently open it, and when you open a loop, you want to open it to the side. You never want to pull it apart. You want to twist it very gently to the side. If you pull it apart, you could break it, you could distort it. Put your little earring hook on and close up the loop. Make sure when you close the loop that you don't leave any gaps. We're working with very thin wire on these eye pins, and we want to make sure that all of the loops are, yes, all of the loops are closed very securely. Do the same thing on the other side, only this time we're going to put our ghost on. Now when you put the ghost on, make sure that you're putting it on facing in the correct direction. So the earring will hang this way. So we will make sure that our ghost is facing out like that. Okay, so now we're going to make our loop come together. Okay, so now we've got our hanging ghost. Sorry if I went off the camera a little bit. Now we would repeat the same thing for the other earring. So while I do that, I'm just going to stop the video camera for a few minutes and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and now we're ready to put the glaze, the sealer, onto our earrings. Okay, I'm just going to make these eyes just a little bigger to match the other. Make sure if you're going to make any adjustments, you do it before you put the sealer on. We'll take our glossy accents, and I'm going to put it right onto the craft mat that I'm using. Ranger makes this also. It's a heat resistant, and I guess we'll call it's non-stick mat. And that means that anything sticky or wet that you put on here will come off. So I'm just going to squeeze the glossy accents right on there, and I'm going to just loosely cap it for now. And we're just going to dip that paintbrush right in there, and starting at the top, just going to put a nice thin coat of the glossy accents over the ghost. You can hold it by the eye pin at the top, and when you're finished, you can also put a little extra at the top to help hold the eye pin in place, especially if you didn't use any glue when you put the eye pin in. Okay, you want to just add a little extra, dab it around. And what I do is I also put a little bit around the bottom edge, because that part will get dirty as well. You can just even get inside there a little bit too. And when you put it on this non-stick sheet, when it's finished, it won't stick. You'll be able to lift it right off there. You could use wax paper, as I said in the first video. And then we just repeat that for the other earring, and you'll have a cute little pair of ghost earrings for Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone! Thanks for joining me on My Crafty Life, and remember to always be your crafty self. Bye now.